Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here. So it is draft day and we have more rumors. So Dan Graziano has reported that the Washington Commanders could trade Chase Young or defensive end Montez Sweat during the NFL draft. So I'm going to talk about that and if I think that will happen and much more. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. Also hit that like button and the notification bell as well, and check out Montez Sleep. So we are less than 5 hours from the NFL drafts, or for the first round. I'm super excited. We'll be on Juan's channel to go through the first round, give you guys my reaction to the first round pick for the Commanders as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. So as we know, yesterday, the Commanders, they didn't announce it, but Nikki Jabala reported that they're not going to exercise Chase Young's fifth-year option. Shout out to her. Other people after she reported as well, like JP Finley, John Kimes. So it's a known thing, not official yet, but that'll happen soon. And that's a big deal. That is a big deal for sure, because that means both him and Montez Sweat will be free agents after this season, unless they come to terms on an extension before that date. So there's kind of conflicting reports. There's reports from some people that they could get traded, and reports from others that they will not get traded. So I'm going to talk about both of those right here. So the first one is from Dan Graziano, and he says the Commanders could trade one of their talented pass rushers, either Chase Young or Montez Sweat, during the NFL draft. Both are pending free agents in 2024. So that's what he reported. He works for ESPN. John Keim, on the other hand, says keep in mind with Commanders DNs, they like to extend Montez Sweat. They hope Young playing a contract year has a big season. Feeling is both on the roster helps them in 2023 need to win. They certainly don't feel like they need to make a trade at all. So he's not saying they're not going to make a trade, but he just doesn't see it. Like he could see it, but like he's not saying like they will not make a trade, but he's basically saying like very low chance it happens. And he's talked about a lot, like why trade Chase when his value is so low at this point, which is true. Like I don't know what you're gonna get for him, but unless it starts with the first round pick, maybe a second round pick, I'm not doing it, because at that point you might as well just let him go. And if he has an okay year this year, let's say 6, 7, 8 sacks, and he goes somewhere else, he'll get a sizable contract because of the name and where he was drafted, where you'll get a third round comp pick. You probably will. So that's just my thoughts on the situation there. No need to trade Chase Young. And I'm not trading Montez Sweat either unless we draft a first round pick. And unless we draft a first round defensive end. And I think we absolutely should not draft Lucas Van Ness, Miles Murphy, Nolan Smith, any of them. I think it would be a nightmare scenario for me if we did that. Because again, although they're not under contract for 2024, they are both under contract for 2023. You can definitely re-sign one of them, or at the very worst, franchise tag one of them and see if you can get the other one under contract, and you'll have them both under contract for 2024. We do not need to draft an edge rusher at 16. There's no, just please don't do that. Offensive line or secondary, or if you really want to, go Bijan Robinson or Dalton Kincaid. But I just don't think edge rusher is the move. And I think it's going to be, and I've talked about this, Darnell Wright is my pick. I haven't done an official final mock draft. Maybe I'll just do one and post it on my community tab so you guys can see. I think he is a Darnell Wright is who I think they're going to draft, especially if he's there, but he could be taken. Broderick Jones, if he's there, also another guy that they could be interested in. I've seen Emmanuel Forbes kind of creep up the list. If we draft him at 16, I like the player, but no, 16's too early for him. He's kind of a mid to late 20s, early second round guy. He's creeping up the board, so it's pretty safe to say he's going to go in the first round, but 16 is a little bit too early for me, especially with those, weight questions. I just would rather not draft him at 16. If it's second round, that's a little bit better. Or if you trade back late into the first and get him, I'm with that. But if not, it's just too early to get him. Josina Anderson, this is what she said. The consensus I heard this morning from league sources on reported Chase Young trade talks earlier this AM. Highly unlikely the Commanders, unless the Commanders are offered a deal they can't refuse. Another added 2 first rounders. So, we're not getting 2 first rounders. If we got 2 first rounders, sorry Chase Young, I love you, but 2 first rounders, I'm taking that for Chase Young. because with that you could trade up for a quarterback if you really wanted to, or wait for next year and draft, maybe be able to trade up into the top 3, top 5 for Drake May or Caleb Williams or maybe another guy. But we're not getting 2 first-round picks. We're not getting a first-round pick. We're not getting that. So I don't think Chase Young will be traded, and I don't think Montez Sweat's going to be traded. The only way I see him traded again is if we draft a first-round DN. And real quick, word from the sponsor.
Also, guys, huge shout out to Manta Sleep for sponsoring this video. Once again, they're a sleep mask company that makes amazing sleep masks, a bunch of different types, some that can change the temperature so you can sleep at the temperature that you desire. Also, some with, sound systems and speakers so you can listen to what you want, when you're going to bed, and something to wake you up. And I've been using one for the last couple weeks, and it's been really, really helpful for me, and I've gotten some great sleep. So make sure you guys check them out and use code HTTC for 10% off.
And yeah, I don't see the Commanders making any player trades today or tomorrow. I mean, maybe they will, but I don't see anyone on the team they would trade, unless something crazy happens. Chase Young, Montez Sweat, those guys aren't getting traded unless they get great value or they draft a DN in the first round. But then, yeah, you already have 2 DNs in your roster that are, solid. You don't need to draft a DN. And yeah, man, I'm excited. Again, we'll be on Wangotti's channel tonight. Make sure you guys check that out. And yeah, Emmanuel Forbes, Darnell Wright, and Broderick Jones, those guys are my top 3 of most likely to be taken by the Commanders at 16. I still think they want to trade back. I really, really do. This class is not very good, so I would say if you can get some future capital, that would be the move. Trade back to like mid-20s, get some future capital, also get some capital for this year, and get an O-lineman or, defensive back. So, Darnell Wright, Brian Branch, Emmanuel Forbes in the late 20s, Broderick Jones, Keely Ringo maybe in the second. I said Deonte Banks, I think. Those are kind of the guys, maybe Brian Branch as well. So, yeah, that is it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. I'm very, very excited for tonight. Should be a good one. Peace, guys.